Man, I'm gonna give you guys a minute before we get started. Come on in, come on in. Try to adjust this. Trying to adjust my tripod. Man, family, come on in, come on in. Man, first, before we get started, on behalf of my mother-in-law, man, may God bless each and every one of you that come on this live. Those of you that catch this on the replay, man, may God bless you as well. Get a couple of the announcements out the way before we get going. I want to talk to you guys about letting go, but we're going to also have like a question and answer session. But I want to talk to you guys briefly about letting go. But before that, man, it's January. We're still doing coaching and mentoring for free for this month. I don't know if I'll continue it into February or not, but for this month, we're still doing coaching and mentoring sessions for free. So what's up with you, Paul? So if you feel like you're going through depression or suicidal thoughts or any of those things, man, you're just up under, the weight, just living of existing, you're catching a lot, man, just reach out to me at ElijahAmmi@gmail.com and we'll get you set up for a session. What's up with you, Libra Love? We'll get you set up for a free session. And again, we've done it in, was it November, the end of November, December, and we'll do it this month as well. Again, I don't know if we'll continue that into February, but as of right now, all coaching and mentoring sessions are still free. Again, just email me at ElijahAmmi. If you want to be part of the group chat that we have, man, hey, just send me an email at ElijahAmmi.com. And we have another session that we'll get going today at 3:30. All of the men sessions for the group that we started, the home chat, home healing our men emotionally. We meet at 3:30 on Saturdays. Shoot me an email and I'll go ahead and get that. Send you the link. We'll be meeting again at 3:30 this afternoon. I'm going to get started again. Today's a question and answer session. But I want to talk about letting go. Letting go. There's so many people that struggle with letting go. You know what I mean? And people say, man, I can't let go of what happened to me. I can't let go of my childhood. I can't let go of this drama. I can't let go of this trauma. I can't let go of whatever happened. And so we struggle with letting go. We struggle with the pain and suffering. We struggle with the emotional abuse we've gone through. We struggle with the heartbreaks. We struggle with the losses. How do we let this stuff go? And some of us, we'll go to the gym, we'll exercise. And while we're at the gym, while we're exercising, man, we could let it go. What's up with you, Morgan? We could let it go for that moment. We could let it go while we're working out. Some of us will get into meditation and we could just relax, just go into our zone, and we could let go of whatever it is that traumatizes, whatever it is that messes us up. We could let go during that time frame. Some of us, man, will go take a nice hot shower. Man, I know some of the ladies put the bubble baths in it and the salt stuff and just all the fragrances, the roses and the lavenders and all the other different essential oils. And man, they got their little music going. They got the incense going, the candles burning, the lights just set right. And man, they're able to let go of whatever it is that bothers them. Whatever it is that has them twisted and messed up. But then for some reason, some people, they're able to go to church, and man, while they're at church, they're jumping up and worshiping God, doing whatever it is that they do. And man, as soon as they get done with all that, man, what's up with you, Cancer baby? As soon as they get done with all that, man, they pick that drama, they pick that trauma right back up and continue on life. You know what I mean? They go through a state of time where, man, they can let go of whatever it is that's bothered them, but then they pick up that trauma again. They pick up that emotional abuse, that emotional pain and suffering again. And so what we're talking about is the art of letting go. Not just letting go while you're taking a bath, not just letting go while you're working out, not just letting go while you're doing whatever it is you're doing. You could be having sex and you letting it go. You ain't thinking about it right then and there. You know what I mean? You're not thinking about it while you're watching a movie. You're engulfed in this movie. You're captivated by this movie. You're captivated by whatever shows you're watching. And so you could just live your life during those moments. You could live your life during that time frame and just watch what it is that you watch and not be caught up with whatever pain and suffering you're going through. So the reality is you can let go because we always let go. We just don't know how to keep letting go and to let go of it permanently. Some of us, we struggle with going to sleep. We'll lay down and man, we're tossing and turning because we're thinking about all the drama, the pain and suffering and stuff. And we just toss and turn. And some of us, we're so fidgety, we just lay there and our legs is twitching, our arms constantly twitching, and we're constantly moving around because we haven't learned how to ease our emotions. We haven't learned how to take control of our mind. And so we're constantly moving and fidgeting and twitching and all this other stuff because our mind is going through some shit. You know what I mean? And you haven't let it go. So you lay there and you're tossing and turning and you're just uneasy because you got all this emotional stuff going on. And then at some point you finally drift off to sleep. And while you're asleep, you're letting go of all that stuff. But then in the morning, you wake up and you remember all of that crap. And then that's when you pick all that crap back up and you start carrying that weight again. It's just because that's the exact same thing that happens all the time. Regardless of what it is, you put on some music. If you like listening to music, you like dancing, you like cooking, whatever it is that gives you that puts you in that zone, whether it's drawing, painting, gardening, whatever it is, playing basketball, whatever, you're in the zone. You got your music, you got this, that, and you're just so captivated by what you're doing. You're so captivated by this movie and blah, 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 blah. You're so engulfed in this book, you know what I mean? And you're just gone. And you're just you're just gone. You're lost in this book. You know what I mean? You're lost in this movie. You're lost in whatever it is you're doing. And then when you get done, then when you put that down, you remember that, hey, hold on, wait a minute. Your subconscious mind you're like, hold on, wait a minute. You're not supposed to be this happy. You're not supposed to have this type of peace. You're not supposed to have this type of joy. Remember so-and-so did such and such to you. Remember so-and-so did that. And now you're remembering all the crap that you just let go of, all the crap that you've been struggling with, and you finally got a break from it. You're remembering the pain, you're remembering the suffering, you're remembering the trauma, and now you're overwhelmed again. It's like, dang, I just can't let this go. I just can't shake this. Oh, yeah, you can. The truth is, you choose not to let it go. The truth is, you choose to keep remembering this. You keep remembering the past. You keep remembering the experiences. You keep remembering the trauma. And that's why you keep holding on to it. Because you let go of it when you're having sex. You let go of it when you're cooking. And when I say sex, I'm talking about for those of you that are having cordial sex. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is, you got a guy that you're dating, a young lady you're dating, and man, you guys are caught up in the moment and boom, you know what I mean? You're not thinking about your traumas no more. You're not thinking about any of this other. You think about, man, I'm gonna wear this dude out. I'm gonna do da to her. I'm gonna break her back and blah, 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 blah. Man, you're captivated by how she look and da and how she's making you feel, how he's making you feel. And so you're more focused on that. You're more focused on that person than you are your trauma. So you release the pain, you release the trauma at that moment. You've relaxed enough to where, man, I could think about something else. I'm more focused on something else. Again, we're talking about questions and answers today. This is going to be a question and answer session. So if you got questions, what's up with you, Antoine? I think that's Antoine. If I mispronounced it, my apologies. This is a question and answer session. So if you have questions, man, please just type them up. My beautiful queen sitting right next to me. She'll read off the questions to me and I'll respond to them. Well, I just want to talk to you guys about letting go before we get going on that. But if you have questions, man, just shoot them up. And so you can let go. You can always let go. You just have to find something more important to you to put on your mind. You just have to find something that you rather think about, that you rather focus on. Whether that's music, whether that's dancing, whether that's painting, drawing, or whatever it is, man, you just have to find something more important to you. When you wake up in the morning, first you're gonna obviously remember, oh man, the pain and trauma, da da da. But you could choose to let that go. You could choose to say, no, I'm not thinking about this shit today. I'm not gonna get focused. I'm not gonna focus on this. I'm not gonna get overwhelmed with this stuff right here. I'm not gonna allow this to be my every consuming thought. I'm not gonna allow whatever happened in the past, I'm not gonna allow that to keep tearing me apart and keep making me feel like I'm less than, like I'm not good enough. Because the trick is, whatever it is you went through in the past, that was the past. I was molested when I was 6, twice, in my early 20s. Years later, I had to come to the understanding, dang, I'm bodybuilding, I'm yoked up, ain't nobody gonna violate me again. Ain't nobody gonna mistreat me, you know what I mean? Because I haven't dealt with being molested yet. And so my mind, I'm like, man, I'm getting tatted up, I'm yoked up, ain't nobody gonna step to me sideways, ain't nobody gonna disrespect me, blah, 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 blah. All this stupid stuff, right? Why? Because I have these unresolved issues. Right. And so I have this pain and suffering. I'm not allowing people close to me. I don't get drunk in public. I'll get drunk in private, at home or around close friends, but I'm not getting intoxicated around people I don't know. Why? Because I'm not going to let nobody violate me and all this other stuff. Right. And so, but then I had to come to understand it's like, Elijah, what happened to you when you were 6 years old, man, that was a long time ago. Why do you keep thinking about that? Why do you keep processing that? Why do you keep reliving that? And most of we don't realize that we keep reliving the past. We choose to relive the past. We choose to relive whatever trauma we experience. That's a choice. That's your choice. You subconsciously, and a lot of you consciously, choose to keep reliving that pain and suffering. And most of us do because we think we have to. Most of us think that we don't have a choice but to keep reliving this. I'm going to live with this for the rest of my life. Okay, that's your choice. But that's not a choice that you have to make. That's not a decision that you have to make in regards to constantly reliving that pain, constantly being violated, constantly being raped, constantly being abandoned and rejected. Man, you don't have to keep reliving that shit over and over and over. You can let that go. You're supposed to let that go. Man, it happened. You can't change the fact that it happened. You can't change the fact that your daddy rejected you. You can't change the fact that your mama didn't want you. You can't change the fact that they abused you emotionally and physically and every other way. You can't change the fact that your siblings did whatever they did. You can't change the fact that the teacher broke your heart and the teacher said da 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 and embarrassed you in front of everybody at school. You can't change the fact that you got your butt kicked in the 5th grade. You know what I mean? Or whatever happened, what happened. You can't change those things. But you can choose to stop reliving them. You can choose to stop allowing them to tear you up. You can choose to stop allowing that stuff to ruin your life and to negatively affect your life. That's a choice you can make. And you make that choice every day. Every day. You wake up and you make the choice to pick up the past. Every day you wake up after you take a shower, after you relax, after you let go of that because you worked out or you drew, you was at work and you was focused on something else or whatever the case may be, you let go of that. Because you don't think about being molested all day, every day. You don't think about you being raped all day and everything. You don't think about you being abandoned and rejected and hurt and blah, blah. You don't think about that stuff all day, every day, 24 hours a day. You don't. You think about other stuff throughout the day. You remember other stuff throughout the day. And so that's God's source way of showing you, hey, this is not something you have to live with. This is something that you're choosing to live with. This is a decision you keep making. You don't want to be depressed no more? Okay, stop thinking about the stupid shit that's fucking you up. I know it hurts you. If it hurts you, why do you keep thinking about it? If it hurts you, why do you keep fucking dwelling on it? Why don't you think about something more positive, something more loving, something more nurturing, something more uplifting? Why do you think so low of yourself? You think that this is all you deserve? You can have all your heart's desires, or you could carry all the pain and trauma that you can carry. The choice is yours. You choose to have a life of joy, or you choose to have a life of frustration, pain, suffering. You choose that. Nobody can choose that for you. Nobody can make you happy. Nobody can give you joy. That's something that you have to choose. You could go to church all day long. You could pray, you could meditate, you could sing worship songs, you could do whatever you want to do. But that's not going to give you joy. You have to choose whether or not you want joy or whether or not you want to keep carrying the suffering. You have to choose whether or not you want to have peace of mind or whether or not you want to keep reliving all of this crazy shit that you've gone through that you say you hate. You say you can't stand this crap, but yet you keep thinking about it. You say you can't stand the fact that people treat you whoop de whoop de whoop and they did it and they hurt you and did it. You say you can't stand that, and yet you dwell on that all day long. And you guys have heard me say in the past, man, God, source, the universe, the Most High, their mentality, the way they process, the way they work is, man, what you think about, you bring about. You say you don't like this stuff? The law of attraction says, man, you get what you think about, what you dwell on. What if I said it differently? If I don't like racism, if I don't like people being judged, if I don't like whatever, but that's what I focus on. I focus on people mistreating me. I focus on all the evil and the hurt and the suffering in the world. I focus on all the mean people in the world. I focus on all the toxic people in the world. I focus on people doing shiesty stuff. I focus on all the negativity. Source, God, the Most High universe, or energy says, oh, you're thinking about all this stuff. You must like this stuff. You must want more of this stuff. Because what you focus on, what you think about, you bring about. And because you're constantly thinking about this stuff, you're drawing more of those things to you. Because you're constantly thinking about this stuff, you're drawing more of these types of experiences into your life. If you don't want this crap, stop focusing on this crap. Focus on what you want. Learn how to manifest the things that you want in life. You don't like feeling a certain type of way, but you keep thinking about all the people that hurt you, all the people that's broke you, all the people that's abandoned you and rejected you and abused you. And you keep thinking about all those people. Cancer. Hey, my wife is going to get that question to me in just a second. You keep thinking about all those toxic people and all the crazy stuff that they did to you. While you thinking about that and reliving that over and over and over and over, Source says, oh, you must like this. You must like this feeling. You must like this frequency. So we're going to allow more frequencies, more experiences like this to happen in your life because you must like this. You keep dwelling on this. You keep staying on this frequency. This is the vibration that you like being on. Because when you wake up in the morning, you jump on this frequency. When you get out the shower, you jump on this frequency. When you're happy, when you're sad, whatever it is you're going through, you're always coming back to this frequency. Because you're always coming back to this frequency, we're going to keep allowing circumstances to happen in your life to keep you on this frequency. If you don't like the frequency, then you have to change your thoughts about it. You have to change what you do about it. You know what I mean? You can't keep dwelling on the same stuff and expecting your life to change, expecting your life to get any better. You have to shift your attention. You have to shift your focus. You guys hear me talk a lot about, man, gratitude. Life is about gratitude. What are you grateful for? That's the secret. That's the code. That's the cheat code to get into whatever you want in life. Learning to be grateful. You see, when you're grateful and you're looking around, okay, man, you know what? I'm glad I'm not in prison. I'm glad I'm alive, but everybody didn't wake up this morning. Some people had a stroke. Some people, man, they got some bad dope last night. Some people, man, they OD'd last night. Some people did da. Some people did it. Whatever it is, everybody didn't wake up this morning. Everybody didn't see 2023. Everybody won't see February of 2023. And so we have to sit back and say, man, what am I grateful for? Man, I could be in a hospital somewhere. Man, I could be dying somewhere in a ditch somewhere. Man, my kids could have been kidnapped. Man, I could have got kidnapped and raped last night and I didn't. You know what I mean? There's so much to be grateful for. Man, I could have had an aneurysm last night. Man, I could have had a heart attack last night. Learn to be grateful for what you have. And so what happens when you start being grateful and you're constantly grateful for the things that you have and the things that you're not experiencing, the toxic things you're not experiencing, Source God the Most High says, oh, you must like feeling like this. You must like this feeling of gratitude. You must like this feeling of having happiness and joy. Man, we're going to give you more experiences like this. We're going to give you more to be grateful for. We're going to give you more to be happy about. You attract what you think about. You attract more experiences on that frequency. Let me get to some of the questions. Why can't we as chosen ones keep a job? Is it because we attract low vibrational environments? You know what? There's so many videos. There's so many people that have YouTube videos out. What's up with you, David? That talks exactly about this. About chosen ones aren't supposed to work. Chosen ones can't work normal jobs. Chosen ones can't have 9-to-5 jobs and blah, 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 blah. Chosen ones can't be in part of this. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't. I believe that whatever frequency you have, you know, and let me back up a second. We got to get out of titles. We got to get out of titles. You know what I mean? Because everybody say they're chosen. Everybody swear they're chosen. Everybody swear they're woke. We have to understand, first and foremost, everybody on this planet, and this is going to piss some people off, this is going to ruffle some feathers, this is going to offend some people, but it is what it is. Everybody walking this planet was chosen to be here at this specific time. Everybody walking this planet was chosen to be here to experience what they've experienced. Everybody walking this planet, everybody breathing on this planet at this time was chosen to be here at this particular time and moment and to have the experiences they have. Everybody's chosen. Everybody's chosen. The difference is, man, some of us know that why we were chosen. Some of us know that, dang, you know, I was chosen to go through all this pain and suffering. I was chosen to deal with this trauma, to deal with being the black sheep of the family or the scapegoat of the family and blah, 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 blah. It's always my fault. I was chosen to go through all this shit. Why? So that I could grow through this, so that I could turn around and help other people. So that I could sow into the lives of other people that's going through what I'm going through, that are going through what I've gone through, so that I could give them hope, so that I can inspire them and challenge their way of thinking to help get them out of the fucking matrix, to help get them out of the programming. That's what every one of us was chosen for. So we have to understand the term chosen. Every single one of us was chosen to go through whatever hell we've gone through. Why? So that we could be a beacon of hope, a beacon of love, a beacon of light to show other people still stuck in the matrix, other people still stuck in that negativity and that drama of their experiences. Man, my life sucked and my daddy didn't like me. My mama didn't like me. My family don't care about me. And okay, my family didn't give a fuck about me either. My family told me I was going to be dead. My family told me I was going to be in the pen. My family told me I wasn't shit. Nobody's going to want to marry me. Nobody's going to be with me. My family abused me, told me I was stupid and I was dumb. Physically beat the shit out of me, emotionally beat the shit out of me. You know what I mean? Man, I was molested. I saw my father. Man, I've gone through shit too. Every one of us has gone through some stuff. But there has to come a time as chosen ones, and everyone's chosen. That we grow the fuck up emotionally and say, okay, man, I was chosen to go through what I went through. Why? So that I can help other people that are going through similar things. Every one of us have different stories. Your life may not have been traumatic and as painful as mine. Everybody else's life ain't as traumatic as painful as mine. And my life ain't nowhere near as painful and traumatic as other people's. And so our circle of influence is going to be different. There's some people that I'm going to be able to reach that you couldn't reach. There's some people you're going to be able to reach that I couldn't reach. Everybody don't like seeing a bald-headed black man talking the way that I talk. Everybody can't handle that. Everybody can't accept the fact that, man, I talk about God, but I cuss people out too. And I use profanity. So my circle of influence is going to be different from yours, but you're still chosen to be a positive beacon in your circle. We got to get that cleared up about being chosen ones, first and foremost. And so why is it that chosen ones can't keep a job? Because most chosen ones think they're fucking all that. Most chosen ones have this false sense of arrogance and self-righteousness, and they think, man, well, I'm too good for this, and I'm da-da-da-da. And we have this stupid shit that we're dealing with that we haven't resolved. It's like there's a real glare behind me. And so we have this crazy stuff that we have not resolved yet. We have these issues that we haven't resolved yet. And so because we have all these issues that we haven't really resolved, man, I'm not working no job. I'm not doing da-da-da, and I'm not dealing with da-da-da, and I'm not dealing with da-da-da. And we have this false sense of being better than what we really are and thinking more highly of ourselves than what we really should. See, a lot of people today, we have this entitlement mentality. We think we should just have some shit. We think we should just get some shit just because we fucking here. The truth is, a lot of us, we're just fucking lazy as fuck. We don't want to work. We don't want to work on our emotions. We don't want to work on dealing with our trauma and dealing with our pain. We don't want to get up and get on a fucking job. We don't want to do a fucking damn thing except sit around, talk spiritual shit, play with fucking crystals and tarot cards and oracle cards and charms and pendulum. And I'm not against those things at all. I have all of them, and I use them from time to time. But we have to be willing to put in the work. We have to be willing to put in the work emotionally. We have to be willing to put in the work physically to take care of our bodies. We have to be willing to put in the work to get money. Why? So we can take care of ourselves and pay for the things we need. So that we can be a blessing to other people financially. You never know by having this job how many people you're going to help, how many people you're going to inspire and encourage, who you're going to meet on a job, regardless of what type of job it is. You never know who's going to come across your path that you need to see. And you would never come across them unless you were on this specific job at this specific time. So it's not that chosen ones can't work or it's hard for chosen ones to keep a job. It's the fact that most people that say they chosen don't know what the fuck they talking about. Most people that say, oh, I'm chosen, and man, I got to walk around because I rock a lot of crystals. I always got crystals with me. And there's so many of us, we got this arrogance, oh, I'm woke. And motherfucker, you don't even know who the fuck you are. You don't even know why you here. You haven't even learned how to deal with your shit yet. What the fuck are you woke to? Oh, Beyonce and Jay-Z and P. Diddy, oh, they're part of the Illuminati and all this other stupid ass shit that y'all spew. Talking about, oh man, I'm woke to the I'm woke to the You're not fucking woke, you're fucking distracted. You think you're smarter than what you are. You think you're more spiritual than what you are. And that's because your ego's played mind games with you. Your ego has fucked you up. Your ego has you trapped in the matrix still, but you're convinced that you're woke. You're convinced that you're better than where you're at. You're convinced that you're more spiritual than everybody around you. You don't even understand that your ego's playing mind games with you. You don't even understand that your ego's keeping you stunted in your growth and development. See, the thing with being spiritual, man, you got to be humble. The thing with being spiritual, man, you can't have an issue with, man, having somebody telling you what you're supposed to be doing as far as working. There's rules to everything. How is it you can't have a job because you can't work, or you struggle with working, but you don't struggle with this up here? You don't struggle with your emotions struggle? The work doing emotionally? That's harder doing this than getting up and going to a 9 to 5 job. Dealing with your issues is a lot harder. How do you get rid of your ego? It's good. I made a bunch of videos about that. I'm gonna answer that in just a second. Cancer, you said, why can't we as chosen ones keep a job? I just talked about it. You can't keep a job because we don't want a job. Most of us, you know what I mean? We don't want somebody telling us what to do because we think we better than that. We want to be the boss. We have no fucking education, no fucking training, no fucking managerial experiences, but we know every fucking thing. And the same thing happens in the spiritual movement. Same thing happens in our growth and development. Man, can't nobody tell you shit. Is it because we attract low vibrational environments? We attract low vibrational environments because that's where we're at. You attract low vibrational environments because you're actually low vibrating on a low vibrating frequency. I know that's not something people want to hear, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Birds of a feather flock together. When you raise your frequency, you don't even trip out on the environment. You don't even care about the environment. Why? And I made a video about this. There's a difference between being a thermostat and a thermometer. A thermometer says, man, it's 65 degrees in here. It's cold as hell. But a thermometer can't change the environment. It just tells you the temperature of the environment. It can't raise or lower the temperature of the room or the environment. It just tells you what the environment is. A thermostat says, man, it's 65 degrees in here. It's too fucking cold. I want it to be 75 degrees in here. And the thermostat says, you know what? Because I have the power to regulate the temperature in this environment, I'm setting the temperature at 75 degrees and I expect the room to change. Why? Because the thermostat said so. Because I have that type of power. I could change the environment. And so the environment has to change. Regardless of what the environment was when I walked in, regardless of what the environment used to be. As a thermostat, you have the power to change and regulate your environment. As a chosen one, you have the power to change the environment of the things around you. That's why you're here. Your job is to change the environment. If it's low vibrating, then it's your job to raise the vibration. Why? Just the fact that you walk in the room, people should be like, oh shit, there's something. But yeah, you're going to have haters everywhere. I don't give a damn what you do. There's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people that don't like you. It is what it is. But as a chosen one, you have the ability when you're on a high frequency, and so many people, chosen ones, they swear to God, they stay on high frequencies all the time. Yeah, I'm always vibing high. No, the fuck you ain't. And see, when you're vibrating in a high, you don't give a damn about the low vibrating shit. Man, you don't get caught up in what they're doing. You don't worry about what they do. That's what they're supposed to do. That's the frequency they on. That ain't got nothing to do with me. If I'm vibrating on a high frequency, man, I don't give a damn what the low vibrating people around me are doing. I got family members that are constantly, trying to dog me out and all. Man, I don't have time for that bullshit. I don't even get caught up on the bullshit. That's their life, that they got to figure this shit out. I'm not going to allow other people to steal and kill and rob me of my joy. Joy is high vibrational frequency. I'm not going to lower my frequency to get on somebody else's frequency. I hope I answered that, Cancer. Dylan, how do you get rid of the ego? That's a lifelong process. That's a lifelong process. And it's not that you get rid of the ego, because you'll never get rid of the ego. It's just you learn how to control the ego and stop allowing the ego to enslave you. And see, the thing is, you have to understand that, man, this is my ego talking to me, and my ego is not my friend. My ego don't care whether I like myself. My ego don't care whether I'm tearing myself down. Your ego just wants to control you. Your ego, man, if you're arrogant and narcissistic, man, ego don't care. Your ego don't care that you're that way. Your ego don't care whether you're self-hating yourself. It just wants to stay in charge. And so how do you learn to stop listening to the ego? You're always going to hear the ego. The ego is always going to be talking. Your ego is always going to be talking to you. You have to learn how to go within yourself through meditating and connecting with God, getting on that frequency, getting in alignment with God, and learning to listen to your intuition as opposed to listening to your head. Learn to listen to your intuition as opposed to listening to your mind. This is where your ego's at. Your intuition is down in your soul, down in your spirit, down in your gut region. And that's where we get the term gut instincts from. And so you have to learn how to go inwardly to get in alignment with your gut, to get in alignment with your intuition and start listening to your intuition. That's where God talks to us at. God doesn't talk to us up here. That's all ego. God talks to us in our gut, in our intuition. Jeremy, Justin said, I've been logging in a gratitude journey for 47 months now. I can have a perfect day and fall back on suicide. Thinking or lower feelings. How do you bounce back from it? Have you experienced the same? Yeah, I'm very suicidal at one point. Very suicidal. And tried to commit suicide. How do you bounce back? Understand that in life, there's ebbs and flows. You know what I mean? It's like every day, the ocean, there's a high tide and a low tide. Every day, twice a day, there's always a high tide and there's always a low tide. The ocean's always high, up on the sand, and there's always low. It's just the ebb and flow of life. Your feelings, your emotions, man, there's always going to be an ebb and flow. Man, I'm high, I'm low. And I'm not talking about being bipolar. You know what I mean? Life, understand, there's always an ebb and flow. But what we have to learn to do is control our emotions. Stop allowing our emotions to control us. Understand the process. Oh, man, why am I in the funk right now? I'm in the low right now. Why am I in the low right now? Why am I in this low frequency right now? Why am I in the funk? Why am I, I'm just not feeling this shit today. Okay, man, let me go meditate. Man, let me go do something beautiful. Let me go do something positive. Let me go do something uplifting. Let me go do something inspirational. And it's trippy. It's like some of us, that have had our hearts broken. It's true. We're in a funk. We've had our heart broken. We're down and out. But then we'll go put on some corny ass music about people getting their fucking hearts broke. We'll go put on some fucking R&B music or whatever type of music you like that's dealing with that same fucking toxic shit. I remember I just had a major breakup and Tony Braxton had a song came out, Unbreak My Heart. That song would fuck me up. But yet my dumb ass kept playing that same fucking song. And she just literally crying, telling me, don't break my heart. I can't sing worth the shit. But I would be driving, I was living in LA at the time. I would be driving, going to the Air Force, going to my job or coming home, just crying, singing that fucking song. You know what I mean? I'm already fucked up emotionally, but I'm going to fuck myself up even more emotionally by listening to this stupid ass music, this low vibrating music. And that's what so many, this used to be our jam. And it's a slow song. This is a lovey-dovey song. Oh, this was our theme song. Oh, this song remind me of her. This song remind me of him. And it just fucks with us even more. It's like we want to be fucking abused. We want to be hurt. We want to be on that low frequency bullshit. So how do you change that? Man, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm not going to stay in this fucking funk. Just like I can make the choice to listen to this Tony Braxton shit. Just like I can make the choice to deal with whatever music that's gonna fuck me up emotionally and have me in my fucking feelings. Or watch a movie and they have me in my fucking feelings. I could choose to put on something that's gonna inspire me. I could choose to put on something that's gonna challenge me. I could choose to put on something that's gonna uplift my spirit. I could choose to think about something and do something that's going to help me in a better way. It's our choice. It's always been our choice. It's always been our choice. But you don't give up on the gratitude. Again, you have to choose, man, and understand that when you go through that speed bump, when you go through that process of, man, something hits you or something triggers you and it sets you back, man, okay, why did this happen? Why did I hit the speed bump? Man, why did this situation happen? I was feeling good and whoop, everything's going great. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, such and such a called me. Out of the blue, so-and-so walked by and they had on perfume that reminded me of this girl that just broke my heart. All of a sudden, this girl just walked by and she looked like my ex. And they broke my heart. They mistreated me. They did it. And this just reminded me of them. And it just put me on one. And all this stuff happened, right? Understand that's a test. It's a test to show you where you're at, to show you what you still have to work on. It's not that God, source, the universe, and whatever is punishing you. Stop looking at it as, man, out of this motherfucker just came just to put me on one and fuck me or that. No, just to show you where you're at and to show you, okay, man, I still got work to do. It's also to show you, man, look where I've come from. Man, in the past, I would think about, on my late wife, Cecilia. She passed away in 2015. And after she passed away, if I saw somebody that reminded me of her or somebody walked by and they had on the body lotions and stuff that she would wear, it would just trigger me and it would just put me on and I just go into this funk. I talked about in the past, around December time frame, I would go into seasonal depression because that's when she died. And so all these triggers, all these setbacks was just to show me, Elijah, at this time, something happened in your life. Something pivotal happened in your life. You have to deal with this, understand this. And so now in December coming around, I don't get into this funk. Now in December coming around, Thanksgiving coming around, I don't go into this funk. I don't go into this isolation stage of just wanting to be left the fuck alone. When people remind me, I don't sit there and get all teary-eyed and emotional no more. I remember her. But it doesn't break my heart anymore. It doesn't mess me up anymore. I look at it as, man, bless you. Thank you for the remembrance. Thank you for reminding me, okay, man, now when I see somebody or somebody walk by and remind me of her, it's like, oh, thank you. And why am I saying thank you? I look at it totally different now. To me, it's, oh, she's watching out for me. She showed me that, man, she's got my back still. She showed me that, man, I'm checking in on you. And so many of us, we have a hard time understanding that when it comes to death. We think our loved ones are gone, and man, they're just gone. They're disconnected from us. Because we don't understand death. And so we fear death. And so we don't understand that God, source, the universe, our ancestors, man, they'll send messages to let you know that you're not alone. They'll send word to you to let you know. They'll send reminders to you to remind you of who you are. To let you know, man, you got people watching your back. To let you know, man, you're right where you're supposed to be. To let you know, man, I'm proud of you. Man, we got you. We're not there physically with you, where you can reach out and touch us and we could touch you. We're there, but we're in a different dimension. We're there, we're in a different vortex. We see what's going on with you. We see how you feel. We see all the struggles and the pain and hell you're going through, but we're proud of you. And so we're sending this butterfly, we're sending this dragonfly, we're sending this person to walk by to remind you of us. Keep going. Keep pushing. We're proud of you. We'll be connected again at some time. Keep going. Keep pushing. And so it's a choice. We have to make a conscious choice. I just talked about my mom the other day. My mom passed away in front of me when I was 2 years old. I'll be 53 next month. And that still hurts a little bit. And so when I think about my mom, but I go into this funk, I go into this pain. I go into this, man, I miss her. Man, I just want to hear her voice. Man, I just want to feel her arms hugging me or whatever the case may be. Man, I'll always see a hawk. I'll always hear a hawk. And that's God. My mom said, hey, I got you, baby boy. That's how my mom shows up for me. That's how she reminds me, man, keep going. I know you're done. I know you want to give up. I know you're frustrated and you're tired. It don't seem like it's getting any better with you. Man, I got you. Keep going. Keep pushing. You're doing what you're supposed to do. And the other thing to that, when I think about my loved ones that have passed on, that encourage me, that inspires me, that lifts me up, it's like, man, they're not here. I can't commit suicide. I can't die yet. Because there's something that I'm supposed to do, not just for me, but for them too. They're living through me. They're watching my life and they're experiencing life through me because they're part of me. So there's a part of them living on in me. There's a part of them living on through me. And so although there's times where I just want to give up and just fold up and just, you know what I mean? And just, I'm done. Fuck this shit. I'm checking out. I'm reminded of my brother. I'm reminded of my late wife. I'm reminded of my mom, my dad, my grandpa, my favorite cousin, and all these other people that have died. My best friend growing up. I'm reminded of these people. And it's like, man, they're part of me. I'm carrying off their legacy through my life. And so they're living and experiencing life through me. So I can't give up. I can't quit. I want to sometimes. I want to say fuck the world and run up to the mountains and hibernate. That's what I want to do sometimes. But my life won't allow me. My ancestors, my loved ones won't allow me. Why? Because there's a mission. There's something I'm still supposed to be doing. And for me going into a funk and me going into the room and just hibernating, just shutting the fucking world up, man, I'm depriving my ancestors, I'm depriving my loved ones of the experiences that they need still, of the experiences that they want still. And so I'm living for them too. I'm living for them. And so I'm grateful. Yes, there's going to be times in life where we're going to be happy and it's crap. Grateful is crap. And then there's going to be something that happens in life. And that's when you have to make the choices. No, I'm not going to choose to go down this black hole. I'm not going to choose to go down this rabbit hole of anger and frustration and hate and jealousy and bitterness and all this other toxic shit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. I choose to stay grateful. I choose to stay on this high frequency. I choose to stay loving. I choose to keep pushing. I choose to become this beacon of hope and love. And here's the trick. We say we're chosen ones. When the storm's the worst, somebody made a comment about the environment. When the storm is the worst, you're out to sea. I love the water. I'm a Pisces. So I love being around the ocean. When the storm is the worst, that's when you need the lighthouse the most. When it's chaotic all around you, that's when the lighthouse needs to shine its brightest. If you're a chosen one and you say you're a chosen one, if you say you're a star seed, a child of God, or whatever the case may be, man, that's when your light, that's when the love, the nurturing, the compassion within you, the God within you needs to shine the most. When the world is at its darkest, when the world is at its most fucked up, when the people around you are negative and toxic as fuck, that's when the love, that's when the hope within you has to shine the most. That's why we're here. To give the people hope. To show the people, man, you ain't got to become toxic and negative because the environment around you is negative and toxic. Yeah, there's a fucking storm, but I'm a lighthouse. I'm here to show the people a way. I'm here to give people guidance. I'm here to show people and give people hope. I can withstand whatever fucking storm is coming around me. I don't give a fuck how bad the earthquake is. I don't give a fuck how bad it's raining, how bad the winds are crashing, and how bad the waves are crashing and blowing. None of that shit moves me. I'm not here for that shit. I'm here for the people. I'm here for the lost, the weary, the downtrodden, the hopeless. To show them, man, I can weather this. I can withstand this. I can withstand this. So we have to grow up emotionally. We have to know who we are. And the trip is, so many people, so many religious people tell me, man, you just trust God, just give it everything to God, and God's gonna do this. That's not how fucking life works. That's a hard pill to swallow. That's not how life works. Because if all I had to do is trust God and give everything to God, then I would never have a fucking problem in my life. If all I had to do is trust God and not worry about shit, Jesus is the answer for everything, God's gonna fix everything, God's the answer, I would never go through shit. I would never have to worry about anything. I would never have to grow up. I would never have to deal with my trauma and my pain because Jesus and God could just boom, snap their fingers and all the pain and the trauma's gone. No, we have to grow the fuck up and understand that, man, as a grown-ass man, as a grown-ass woman, there's some shit that I gotta have to cry, blow my nose, but I'm gonna have to keep going. I'm gonna have to push my way through this. I'm going to have to find, man, I can't just sit here and just cry to God and just expect things to change. I gotta go through some shit. And that's the reason why Jesus went through, Yahshua, whatever you want to call him. That's why they went through so much shit. Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane, and that's the purpose of them having that part in the Bible. Jesus went and prayed and cried unto God until he started sweating blood. Ain't not never one of us sweated so much in prayer that we're sweating blood. Jesus sweated blood out of fear and stress. There's a medical condition for that. He was up under so much fucking pressure because he knew what was about to happen. He didn't want to go through this shit. He told God, man, take this cup from me. In layman's term, in Elijah's term, man, fuck these shit. Fuck these people. You know what I mean? They can figure this shit out on their fucking own. I'm not carrying no fucking cross. I'm not getting beat for their fucking asses. Motherfucking hard-headed, rebellious ass motherfucker. Fuck these people. Start over. That would have been me. Fuck these people. Oh, hell no. I'm not getting beat like this for these motherfuckers. I'm not hanging up on no fucking tree or no fucking cross for these hard-headed, rebellious, arrogant, narcissistic, judgmental ass motherfuckers on this planet. Start the fuck over. Send another flood, fire, whatever the fuck you gotta do. I'm not doing it for these motherfuckers because they ain't gonna appreciate shit. He went through all that he went through to show us, man, you're gonna have to go through some shit. You're gonna have to override your fucking ego. You're gonna have to learn how to control your fucking feelings. The last thing Jesus did, last thing Yeshua did was, man, he's hanging up on the cross. He already got whipped. He already had his clothes stripped off of him. Everybody's mocking him. Oh, here's the Jews, the king of the Jews. He's the chosen one. He's God's son. And look at this motherfucker getting his ass beat. Look at this motherfucker. He said all that he could make food out of, he could feed 5,000. He could turn all this shit. He could do all this shit. He could raise the dead. He could heal the sick. He could do all this. But this motherfucker couldn't save himself. He could do all this shit. But he can't get his ass off this situation. He could do all this shit. He could walk on water. But he can't stop this ass beating he about to catch. He can't stop the fact that he's hanging up on this fucking cross. He could do all this shit for the people. And they still took a spear and pierced him in his fucking side. They still took thorns and put it and pressed it on his head and made him bleed. They still took leather whips with metal strips on the end of them and beat the fuck out of him and scarred his back the fuck up. And then they threw his ass up on a fucking tree and put a nail or spear or whatever you want to call it through his wrists or his hands, whatever you want to choose to believe, I don't care, and his feet. And he had to hang there. All the shit he had to go through. You're going to have to go through some shit in life. I don't give a fuck how much you pray. I don't give a fuck how much you fast. You're going to have to go through some shit. You're going to have to deal with your fucking issues. You're going to have to deal with your fucking fears, your insecurities. You're going to have to deal with your fucking traumas. We gonna go through some shit, family. We gonna go through some shit. It is what it is. That's what makes us chosen. That's what makes us beacons of hope. That's what makes us lighthouses for the world. Why? Because through all this shit that we went through all this shit that we go through, man, I can still stand up and say, man, I'm here for the people. Through all this shit that we go through all the hell and the pain and the rejection and the abandonment and all the fucking toxic shit we go through, we can still say, man, I love the people. Man, I want to help the people. I know they rejected me. I know they don't give a fuck about me. I know they don't like me. I know they don't respect me. I know they don't cherish me. I know that they don't think shit about me. I know they wish I was dead and gone. I don't give a fuck. Man, I'm still here for the people. How can I help them heal? How can I help them go through what they got to go through? How? Because I'm not going to stop them from going through what they got to go through. They're going to have to go through it. They're going to have to go through what they got to go through. But man, let me send somebody to help them. Let me send somebody to be a beacon of hope, to be a beacon of light, to show them the way through their pain, through their darkness, through their storms of life. Because God ain't going to stop the fucking pain. God ain't going to take away the pain. He ain't going to take away the trials or the tribulations. He's just going to send somebody, man, so that you can see and be like, man, you can make it through this. I've been there. Man, here, you ain't got to do it the way I do it. I'm just here to show you, man, it can be done. I'm just here to show you, man, I've been suicidal. I wanted to die. I tried to die. But look at me now. And looking at me now is not about, man, let me puff up my chest and woo-doo-doo. It's not about that. It's not about me popping my collar and like I'm all that. No, it's about saying, look, when you go through what you got to go through and you grow through, see, we go through shit all the time, but we don't grow through it. When you grow through this shit, man, Like the children, like the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the three Hebrew boys. That man, they threw their asses in the fucking fire. And Jesus got in the fire with them. He didn't just say, okay, nope, I'm pulling your ass out the fire. No, Jesus, the Bible said, it appeared as though the Son of Man, the Son of God, was in the fire with them. See, church got us fucked up thinking, oh man, all we gotta do is just pray and it's gonna take away the fire. All we gotta do is pray and everything gonna be okay. No, the fuck it ain't. You're gonna have to go through some shit still. But when God brings you out, after you grow through it, you won't even look like you've been through it. After you grow through it, you won't even smell and talk like you've been there. People say, man, you don't look like you 52 years old. Man, you don't look like you've gone through all the bullshit you've gone through. Man, how the fuck could you watch your daddy murder your mama when you was 2 years old? How the fuck could you be molested twice at the age of 6? How the fuck could you be beaten and emotionally dogged the fuck out and gone through all the shit you gone through and not be spun the fuck out on dope, not be locked up in fucking prison somewhere, not be homeless and out of your fucking mind? How could you gone through all the shit that you've gone through and still be here and encouraging and inspiring and trying to lift other people up? Why? Because we're chosen. Why? Because we're star seeds. Why? Because we came here to be a lighthouse. Every single one of us. This is our purpose. This is our calling. This is what we've been chosen to do. We ain't chosen to be sitting here talking about, man, look at my millions, look at my billions, look at my Bentley, look at my Maserati, and look at all this other stupid shit I've accumulated. That's not what we're chosen to do. That's a fucking distraction to keep us from doing what we came here to do. But we have to know who we are. We have to know who we are. When you don't know who you are, man, you're like the blind walking around in the dark, just constantly feeling. And we don't understand. See, thank you for that, God. When you're blind, man, you got to feel your way through life. You got to touch and experience everything with your hands. That's how we are spiritually. The great majority, we're spiritually blind. It's not about seeing with your natural eyes. See, the trip is your third eye, and everybody swear they got their fucking third eye. How the fuck is your third eye open and you can't fucking see your purpose? How the fuck is your third eye open and you don't know who the fuck you are and you don't know where the fuck you going? Your third eye is your spiritual eyesight. Why? Because we see with our natural eye, we're just doing this, we're blind. Man, thank you, Noah, for that donation. Bless you. But with our third eyes open, man, now I can see through the dark. Why? Because I see spiritually. I understand. I see who I am. I see and understand why I've gone through all the hell that I've gone through. So I'm not mad and bitter and angry and depressed over all this shit that I've experienced. Why? Because I see with my third eye, my first eye. I see with my spiritual eye why I've gone through the hell that I've gone through. And because I see it, because I understand it, man, I'm grateful. Why? Because that's part of my testimony. That's part of the tools that I have to reach and inspire and encourage and uplift other people. See, I can't be who I am now had I not gone through all the shit I've gone through. I am who I am because of all the shit I've experienced. I am who I am because all the shit that I've had to grow through. Man, we have life so messed up. We swear we so woke. We swear our third eye is open and we can't see shit. You know what I mean? We have no understanding who we are, why we're here, and where we're going. And so, man, you get to the point after you've grown through it, man, you start thanking God. You start thanking the devil or whatever it is you think. Man, that's all you got? Man, you did this. You thought you were going to break me. You thought you was going to destroy me. That's your best. And you start seeing life totally different. You start seeing all this shit, the pain and everything that you've gone through. It's like, man, thank you. I'm not mad at you for breaking my heart. I'm not mad at you for abandoning me. I'm not mad at you for raping me. I'm not mad at you for molesting me. I'm not mad at you for doping me up and drugging me up. I'm not mad at you for doing that. Man, I thank you. Why do I thank you? Why? Because, man, I understand my purpose. See, I couldn't be me had I not had all those experiences. I can't reach the people and talk to the people based on my experiences, based on the knowledge and the wisdom, understanding that I had, because I wouldn't have that knowledge, wisdom, understanding had I not gone through those things. You just turned out to be my fucking school. You turned out to be my school of hard knocks. And so, man, I honor you. I thank you, Sifu. I thank you, teacher. That wasn't your intention, but that's what you are to me. You taught me to love me. You taught me to focus on me. You taught me to get connected with God so that I could see who I am. And I can only see who I am through the eyes of God. And now that my eye is open, my third eye is open, my spiritual eye is open, man, I see who I am. I see why I'm here. I see where I'm going. Dylan asks, how do you know that what we are doing is in alignment with our calling? There's so many ways that God sends us messages. So many different ways that know that, man, you're on track. You know what I mean? And it's true because some people, there's this big thing with numerology now. There's this big thing with understanding numbers. You see 1111 or 111 or 222 or 1234 as far as the clock. You know, or you see these signs, these numbers everywhere. You know, 333, 555, 666, whatever. You see these sequence of numbers all the time, everywhere. You know what I mean? You'll see them on the car. You see them on the bus. You'll see them everywhere you go. You're constantly looking at your watch and you're like, man, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Dang, I see this a lot. Man, okay, what does that mean? Man, I'm always looking, and my queen, her number is 919. You know what I mean? And so we all have different numbers that we look at or that we see. And most of us, we just blow it off. Because we can't see with our third eye. We don't see what that means. We just think it's a coincidence. There are no such thing as coincidences. Coincidence is you not understanding the language of God. That's all coincidence is you are not in alignment with source. You are not in alignment with God. So you think this is just happenstance. You don't understand that God is sending you a message. You don't understand that source, the universe, is sending you a message. Hey, you're right where you're supposed to be at. Hey, man, I got you. Hey, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're doing the right thing. You're where you're supposed to be at. Where there's a hawk, where there's an eagle, where there's an owl, whatever it is that gets your attention. And you know there's something peculiar. Man, I can't understand. Why am I constantly seeing a white owl? Why am I always seeing this certain type of hawk? And man, no matter what type of mood I'm in, or depending on what type of mood I'm in, man, I always see this owl. Or the other day, I saw a black squirrel. And I'm tripping, it's like, dang, that's crazy. My father had this thing of, man, the blacker the better. You know what I mean? What he would always say was like, man, he always wanted to be the black thing. You know what I mean? The black bird, the black whatever. And so after he passed away, there was this crow that came. And I'm sitting in my car at the school waiting for the kids to get out because I'm going to go work with them, right? And so I hear this crow, and it's just right above my truck, and it's just doing all this noise, making all this noise, right? And I'm sitting there, and I'm kind of like in a funk, right? But I know I got to uplift my spirit, and I don't really know how at the time. I'm just struggling because I just lost my father. And the trip is, that year I lost 4 people close to me. 4 people close, dear to, 5. 5 people very close to me. And one of them was my father. And I'm sitting there and I'm hearing all this, yeah. But I'm not paying attention to it because I'm focused on my feelings. And this is why the great majority can't see God, can't understand God, can't hear the voice of God, or can't see the synchronicities in life. We don't see the messages that God is sending us, that the universe is sending us, because we're so fixated on our feelings. And so I'm sitting there stuck in my feelings, and I'm hearing this bird, yeah, 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 yeah. And I look, I was like, what the fuck? Shut the fuck up already, right? And then it hits me. And the bird's like, yeah, 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 yeah. And I just start smiling. I started smiling. Why? Because I recognized my Father. And as soon as I said it, my spirit changed. My energy changed. It's like, man, thank you, Dad. And all I heard at that moment was, you're all right. Relax. You're okay. And when I heard that, when I recognized the bird as my Father, yeah, trying to get my fucking attention. When I recognized my Father in that crow, doing all the yeah, trying to pull me out of my funk, trying to pull me out of that low vibration and frequency. And when I recognized my Father and I acknowledged him as my Father, then I heard, you're okay. Relax. You're good. And my whole energy changed. I told you guys, man, when I'm missing my mom, I'm in my feelings about my mom, I always see an owl. Excuse me, I always see a hawk. And there's always a red-tailed hawk. One day, I was in China, and I was missing this is after my late wife passed away. I went to China and I'm spreading her ashes around. And after I tried to commit suicide there, and I hurt my hip and they wanted to do surgery, but I refused to have surgery done in China. And so I wanted to get to this monastery, this specific monastery in the mountains. And it was like almost 5 miles away from where Shaolin was at, right? But this is high mountains and it's just narrow passageway. And I used to have this fear of heights. But I had to get to this mountain. I had to get to this building, to this temple, this monastery, right? And so I'm telling the people, man, take me there. I got to get there, bad hip and all. They're like, no, it's not good for you. It's like, I don't care. I got to get, and I didn't understand why I had to get there. And so like the day before, my Kung Fu instructor, my master, my Sifu, he was like, man, I'm going to give you a Chinese name. And so I'm sitting there and I got on black clothes, a black shirt, excuse me. And he's like, man, there's 4 names that came to me and I've been meditating on the 4 names. And these are the ones that are stuck with me and I'm not sure which one I'm supposed to give you. And so one of my brothers, the guy that was like my tour guide, my translator and everything, he was sitting right next to me. And I had another brother, Josh from England, who was on the right side of me, on the left side of me. And there was this black butterfly that just landed on my side. And I didn't realize that the butterfly was there. And my brother Dimitri, he said, hey, don't move. I said, why? What's up? He said, there's a butterfly on your side. And so I looked down and man, there's this black butterfly with pink dots on it, right? Pretty, just majestic, right? Because it had like pink fuchsia and just all these different colors, like dots all over it, right? And I'm sure that's the first in my life a butterfly ever landed on me, right? And so I'm sitting there and I'm smiling, right? And I'm tripping, right? Because I never had this experience. And so the instructor, Sifu, said, what are you guys smiling at? And so my brother Demetrius is there. There's a butterfly on the side. And the instructor, he only spoke Chinese. He's like, see. And he's smiling. And so he said, that's the answer. And they were like, what? He's like, man, this one word right here that I was going to give you, there's one name out of the 4. It has a butterfly character in the name. So then when you look at the Chinese writing, man, it's like, it's not like English words, you know what I mean? Where it's A, B, C. It's like pictures, right? And symbols. And so in my Chinese name, there's Lu Wen. That's the name, Green Destiny. But in the diagram, there's a butterfly symbol. And so my instructor's in tune with nature. My instructor's in tune with God. He understood, man, that's his name. This is the name that I'm supposed to give him. The butterfly was the symbol. The butterfly landing on his side was the symbol, was the message that I needed. This is the name. Lu Win, Green Destiny. You're going to help people reach their full potential. You're going to bring people back to nature, back to the basics, back to the beginning, back to source. He didn't know anything about my life other than the fact that I love Kung Fu. He didn't know that I was already trying to help people. He didn't know that this is what I was going to be doing in life as a mentor and as a life coach with a YouTube platform. I didn't even have this stuff back then. And so the butterfly landing on my side was the message he needed to give me the name that I was supposed to have, Lu Win. And so my brother Josh is taking me up on this mountain, right? And this is the next day. We're walking up to this temple. And so there's the three kings. And there's three mountain peaks, right? And so I'm standing there with the three kings behind me, three mountain peaks, and I want a picture. And so I'm like, Josh, take a picture of me right here, right? And we're way up in the mountains. And so he takes a picture of me with the three kings behind. And so we walk all the way to the monastery and we come back and everything else, right? And so I said, Josh, can you send me the pictures? And so as I'm going through the pictures, man, one of the pictures with me standing in front of the three kings, there's this monarch butterfly coming down in the picture. It's about to land on my shoulder, right? And so I'm sitting there and I'm tripping out on this picture. And I'm like, Josh, man, did you see this picture with the butterfly? He's like, yeah, man, I didn't see that butterfly. He's like, I never saw that butterfly, but I saw it when I sent you the pictures. And I'm like, man, that's crazy. And so the butterfly has always been my thing with my late wife. She loved butterflies. And that was, man, she had just passed away a few months prior. I was brokenhearted and I spread her ashes all over China. And so when I see the butterfly, it's a reminder to me of my late wife. It's a reminder, hey, E, I'm still here. I can't talk to you on your frequency. I can't talk to you word to word, mouth to mouth like we used to talk. But man, I'm checking in on you. I'm proud of you. You're not alone. Prior to coming out here to meet my queen, I was in North Carolina and I was doing a live stream, I believe. And I had a bunch of beads on. And so I'm standing there and I'm talking to the people and I don't even know what I was talking about, right? And so I see this butterfly just circling me, right? And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. That's cool. And it didn't dawn on me, right? I'm just talking to the people, but I'm looking at this butterfly too, right? And then the butterfly lands in the camera. And I'm telling the people, man, I'm tripping out on this butterfly. And I'm telling them what the butterfly represents to me because it's landed on my camera. And I'm telling them, man, that's a reminder to me of my late wife and whoop-de-whoop. And so then the butterfly flies up and it lands on one of my beads. And so I'm sitting there and I got it all on camera and I'm like tripping. It's like, dang. And so I hold my hand up like I'm looking at it like this is butterflies on my bead. And I hold my finger up like this. And the butterfly flies up and lands on my finger. And I'm just sitting there in front on the camera, just smiling, just laughing. It's like, man, I've never experienced this before. Man, thank you, God. Thank you, Cecilia, for the experience. Man, thank you that this video's here. That's proof. Because nobody would believe this. You know what I mean? Nobody would believe this. Why am I sharing that? Synchronicity. That's God's source, your ancestors, people just letting you know, man, I'm still here. You're not alone. You are loved. You're loved. You're valued. You're valued. We care about you. We got you. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep moving. You're doing what you're supposed to do. And so for you, man, the synchronicity may be different. For you, the message may be different. For you, what you see may be different. You have to be in alignment with God to understand the message. You have to be connected to God to understand the message. Because the average person will say, oh, that's just a coincidence. Oh, that's a coincidence. Oh, that's nice. And won't think anything about it. the message you get may not be the message everybody else gets. It's for you. It's not for everybody else. It's for you. It's what you need. It's what you need to experience. It's what you need to see at that moment. And so your job is, once you see it, is be like, okay, God, Source, Most High, Universe, what does this mean? What does this mean? What am I supposed to take from this message? Who is this message from? Who is this from? So now when I see something black and it's making noise and it's trying to get my attention, I recognize it. Okay, Dad, I got you. When I'm feeling low and I'm in my feelings about missing my mom, and I hear the red-tailed hawk, or I see the red-tailed hawk, it's like, okay, Mom, I got you. I see you. When I see the butterfly, okay, Cecilia. See, Cecilia comes as a butterfly or as a ladybug to me. And so when I see them and I get them land, and they land on me, it's like, okay, I got you. I got you. Thank you. Thank you for manifesting yourself to me. Thank you for showing me that you still care about me. Thank you for showing me that you're still proud of me. Thank you for showing me that you're still willing to come and see about me. Because the truth be told, most of us feel unworthy. Most of us feel unloved. We do. We do. And so we got to have these synchronicities. We got to have these messages from our ancestors, from our loved ones, from God, Source, the Most High, to remind us, man, you're loved. You're not alone. You might be physically alone. You might not be in a relationship with somebody, but you're right where you're supposed to be. You're loved. You're valued. And although you think that, man, you're being punished and that's why you're alone, no, we're preserving you. You're being preserved. You've been kept. You're being kept. We got you in isolation right now. Why? Because we're keeping all this toxicity away from you. We want you to help heal yourself right now. We want you to deal with some stuff right now, so that we can present you to the world, so that we can present you to your king, to your queen, as a loving and balanced individual. Not full of all that toxic drama and trauma that you've experienced in your past, but as somebody that's grown through your circumstances so that you can now lead others. So you can now encourage and inspire and challenge others. So how do you know whether you're in alignment with God? You'll see different things. You'll hear different things. You can hear something. Man, somebody just said that yesterday. Man, I was just having a conversation with somebody 2 days ago. Man, somebody just passing said this at work, or somebody said this on a bus. Somebody said this on a train. I heard this on the radio, and now I'm hearing it again. Random people just having a conversation, not even talking to me, but they're saying the exact same thing that I just heard yesterday. They're saying the exact same thing that this person over here said. Man, this person is saying the exact same thing that my mama just said last night. This person over here saying the exact same thing that my wife just said. This person over here saying the exact same thing that my king just said. They're saying the exact same thing that my dad just said. They're saying the exact same thing. I just read this in this book. I just heard somebody on YouTube say the exact same thing yesterday. Or I got them and I watched a YouTube video and they were saying da 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 da. Then I turned to a different page, another person, and this other person I got on the live stream, and this person is saying the exact same thing that I just heard. That's not a coincidence. That's synchronicity. That's God showing you you're right where you're supposed to be in this moment. That's God showing you, hey, pay attention to this. This is important. Pay attention to this. Take heed to this. Take heed to this. Man, if there are, is there any more questions? You know what I mean? I don't know if anyone else has any other questions. Again, for those of you that are interested in the home, um, Healing Our Men Emotionally group, man, we'll be meeting at 3:30 today on Zoom. If you want to be a part of that as a man, shoot me an email at ElijahAmmi@gmail.com and I'll send you the link. That'll be every Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm on the East Coast, so that'll be 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. And if you're depressed, suicidal, or just feeling real heavy, real like you're ready to give up, you can't go no more, man. This month, we're still doing free mentoring and coaching sessions. Shoot me an email at ElijahAmmi@gmail.com and we'll get you set up for a free coaching session. Okay? Again, it's all about dealing with our emotions. It's all about dealing with our trauma and our pain. And you understanding that you're not alone. You understanding that, man, there are people out here that care about me. There are people out here that, man, they don't even know me, but they care about me. There are people out here, they don't even know me, but they're willing to give me a free coaching session. They're willing, man, 'cause I used to charge $75 for 30 minutes. And God put on my heart November, December, and January. Nah, you're not doing that. Because that's when most people are going through the most. That's when more people commit suicide. That's when more people are in their funk and depression. And so we're doing it free this month. We may do it free next month as well. I'm not sure yet. But we're doing it free this month. Because you need to know that you're loved. No more excuses. No, I don't have the money. Man, down the money. It ain't about the money. It's about getting the help you need. My beautiful queen and I, we love you guys. And just keep us in your thoughts and prayers. We will be starting a group for women only, just like we have for the guys, where we just come together through Zoom and just chop it up about life and just dealing with our traumas, just dealing with our suffering, dealing with our pains and just our thoughts, you know. And I'm not sure when we'll do that, but that's going to be coming pretty soon. We will be going live again tomorrow evening, Sunday at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Man, come check us out again tomorrow. And anytime you guys have a question, anything pop up, man, and you guys want to ask, just shoot me an email or put it in the comments on one of the videos, or you can ask during the live tomorrow. My queen writes all that stuff down and she gets that information to me. Man, we thank you guys. We value you guys. We love you guys as being part of this tribe. Man, 2023, man, we're going to do great things this year. All of us. This is going to be a groundbreaking year for so many of us. For those of us that's willing to put in the work. Emotionally, spiritually. Stop playing games. Stop making excuses. Stop being lazy. Stop being content. We're going to grow this year by leaps and bounds. We're going to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I'll say it again. You can't grow being comfortable. You grow by being stretched, by being challenged. And so this year, whatever this year brings, man, we're going to grow through it. Whatever this year brings, man, we're going to be positive and grateful for it. Why? Because we understand that it's helping us grow. It's helping us reach our full potential. And that's the mentality we're going to take in every situation that we face, regardless of what it is. Man, this is here to help me. It's not here to destroy me. It's here to help me. We love you guys. We thank you guys. We honor you guys. Namaste. Indian word. For the God in me sees, recognizes, acknowledges, and cherishes the God in you. Every single one of you have God within you. And when we start seeing each other and recognizing the fact that, man, every one of us have God in each other, man, we'll stop being so abusive to each other. We'll stop being so dismissive of each other. We'll stop being so judgmental of each other. We'll stop being so hateful of each other because we'll see God in them. We'll stop sexualizing each other. We'll stop disrespecting each other. We'll stop abusing each other because we see God in them. And we'll see the same God in them that we'll see in ourselves. We love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.